Hey you guys, welcome back to C.SQUARED, and I'm your host, VaLentine. You know what? Today is my birthday, and it's my birthday, and I'm a party. It's my birthday, and I'm here today with Nathan Ramos, the playwright of an awesome play called As We Babble On. So stay tuned and be C.SQUARED. Hey everyone, welcome back to C.SQUARED with your host, me, VaLentine. Today is a super casual day with my C.SQUARED shirt on and my sneakers, yay, and my ripped up jeans. And it's also my birthday, so yay, happy birthday for me. Wait, I didn't introduce you yet. Anyway, that's fine. You guys, I'm here with Nathan Ramos. He is the, well, welcome to C.SQUARED.
Thank you so
family
much.
is happy to have you.
It's great to be here.
Nathan is actually the playwright for a play called As We Babble On, which is what this special episode is all about today. As We Babble On, the movie, we'll meet the playwright, the director, and one of the actresses from the play. That'll be out shortly, right?
Yes.
Tell us when it'll be out exactly.
So As We Babble On, it's playing at East West Players, which is the longest running theater of color in America. And its previews start May 31st, opening night's June 6th, and it runs until June 24th.
Oh, okay, well, we'll be there. C.SQUARED will be there on premiere night.
Yeah, okay,
premiere
awesome.
Night. We'll be there.
Night, yeah.
I'll be there. I might lose my voice. Like, I know him.
Yeah, you're gonna be laughing. You're gonna be laughing. It's really funny.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us a little bit? Well, since we started talking about the play, tell us what it's about. Really
Yeah,
quickly, and
absolutely.
why people should go check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. As We Babble On is it's not like a coming out story. It's not a coming of age story. It's more of a kind of a coming into adulthood story. I feel like we have this is kind of age from like 25 to 35 where we're just like we don't know what we're doing, you know. It's like we're supposed to be adults, but like nothing is happening in our lives. And so I think that's kind of where As We Babble On lives. It's about a queer comic book artist who feels like he can't get ahead in the industry that he's in because of the color of his skin, because of what he looks like, and because of his sexuality. And as other people in his life start moving forward in their lives, he kind of feels held back by who he feels he is.
And I think in the play he's a comic book writer, right? So why did you choose comic book writer?
So I'm a huge comic book fan. I mean,
Me too. We were just talking about that off camera.
I mean, when I was little, I would think that some of the first stories I remember, I grew up in kind of in small town Ohio actually, and so we finally had like a bookstore that was built in our hometown when I was in like 5th grade, and I would walk to the bookstore and just sit and read comic books, you know, all day. So reading X-Men, like the Dark Phoenix saga, the Age of Apocalypse, you know, all these kinds of runs.
Only Marvel? What about DC?
I would read DC. I mean, like I did like Batman, but I mean, there's something about
Batman.
For me, there was something about X-Men where it's like you know they're this kind of illusion for civil rights, you know, gay rights, and so it kind of like being a young person figuring myself out. It kind of really that's how I kind of hooked into superheroes in that way.
Did you ever think about being a comic book writer yourself?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I have like, you know, so many ideas for comic books, and I would love to. I've just been I like Greg Pak, who is a comic book writer for Marvel. I like stood in line because he wrote the Asian Hulk, Amadeus Cho, and I like even have like a tattoo devoted to that character.
Do you? Oh,
yeah.
Let us see the tattoo. Take it up. Take it up. Okay.
But and so I like, you know, waited in line, and I started writing the play after, you know, he became one of he kind of blew up, his career blew up at Marvel, and so I told him, like, I was like, when I like met him at like a comic book shop, I was like, you helped me write this play.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was just really great. And then he was like, we've kind of like talked on Twitter and everything.
Yeah,
so
invite him to the premiere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely,
So,
if you haven't done that already, definitely that would be great. You know.
Yeah.
So, tell me one of your most impactful moments in a play that you wrote that kind of stands out for you, and why?
Yeah, I think a lot of the times as people of color or anybody that's LGBTQ, we kind of sometimes get wrapped up in kind of this oppression Olympics, kind of like who has it worse. And
yeah, that's true.
You know, it's just like, oh, well, you don't know what it's like to be Asian. Well, you don't know what it's like to be this,
Black.
that, you know. And there's a moment in the play where an Asian male who's gay and a woman of color who's also LGBTQ, they kind of get into it, and it's like, we can't keep playing this game. we can't keep saying who has it worse. It's just like, because if we just sit here and worry about who has it worse, then we're not actually moving towards our goals, and we're not actually helping each other, and we're not helping anybody by just, like being sad and angry. So it's kind of, I wanted to really write something that wasn't about the suffering of what we all go through, and because I think that there's so much work that is about, like how hard it is and how difficult it is to be a marginalized person. And so I just wanted to kind of write something that was really joyful and was really funny and quick, and like let us work towards being the best people that we can be, kind of thing. Yeah.
What was the auditioning process like that?
Oh my gosh,
for the show?
It was actually really interesting. So while
how did you choose your main characters?
So we auditioned, probably like over 400 people, and what happened was because originally there was a white character in the script, and originally there was like a full black woman in the script, and so
did you say full black woman?
Yeah.
What that mean?
So like not Hapa. So in other words, no, like so not like half white, not half Asian.
You mean
like
black, not just in appearance, but connected to their culture.
Yes.
Not whitewashed.
Yes. And so, but as I saw these auditions, I saw there was a couple Hapa men, which is like half white, half Asian men that had come in, and I was just like, I think I need to rewrite this white character and make it half Asian, because like the way that they're bringing themselves the material, it's really speaking to me in a certain type of way. And so and also same thing when Giovanni came in, I was just like, oh, this mixed woman, like she's like bringing so much to this character that I really feel like I want to because there's some people that just are never represented on screen. And when I saw her audition, I just
Giovanni.
Yeah, and I had asked her to kind of like prepare a story, and the story that she told, it just resonated so much. It was kind of this like
she told a story.
Yeah,
story.
She told a personal story about how, I don't want to take away from.
That's okay, Giovanni. Just so you guys out there, Giovanni will actually be here later on in the show, so I'm gonna have to tell. The story she told you if she'd be.
She has a story. I don't want to ask her. Okay. Like she told a story about her personal experience, and I just like started crying during the audition. I was like, okay, like I need to write for her, and I need to write stories that speak to this world that I'm living in, because I'm half Korean, half Filipino.
Oh, okay.
And so I never feel like I fit in either world. I know I'm too dark to be Korean, and I'm too like emotional and fun to be Korean.
Okay, so you know what?
It's like,
that kills me. When you say you too dark, I'm like, dark where? Like, where do I see dark? But I understand what you're saying. Yeah. Although for me, I'm like, dark? Like, no.
Yeah.
So then, can you speak Tagalog? Is it
No, I mean,
Tagalog?
my dad.
What about Korean?
I can read and write, and then that's the really interesting thing that we kind of go through, is that people kind of judge when it's like my parents didn't teach us the language to keep us safe. Because like growing up in Ohio, when we're the only Asian people, like if they were to hear,
so become more Americanized.
Yeah.
You don't even speak.
And so I mean, it is this kind of thing. This play has been a lot of kind of rediscovering self in a way, because it kind of gives me permission to I think when we give permission to like love ourselves, then it lets us enjoy life more, if that makes sense, because I think that there was this part of me that was so bitter and angry of like why can't I speak any languages, and like if I feel ostracized, right. and then your own community ostracizes you. I can't speak Tagalog, and like even if I were speaking like my my family slang, I would be speaking Visayan instead of Tagalog. So and then like I can't speak Korean, and so it's this kind of Koreans don't think I'm Korean, and then Filipino people don't think I'm Filipino, and then like I grew up as a white person basically in Ohio, and so like how do I connect all these kind of separate pieces of myself? And I think that's a lot of what this play is that we all kind of are thrust into, in America, yes, we may be Korean or Filipino or Chinese or anything like that, but when we come here, like everyone just sees us as Asian, even though we have this whole past that, there's so much conflict, and there's so much, hurt involved with, like generations before us. But when we're here, we're otherized together. And so I think that's,
And we have to go to the commercial, but before you go, I just wanted to share really quickly. In New York, I'm from New York.
Yeah.
From Brooklyn, actually. Brooklyn.
Yes.
Anyway,
I lived 5 years in New York. Yeah.
And in New York, most of the Latinos, if you can't speak Spanish, they're like, "Oh, you a fake Latino." They serious. They serious out there. They're like, "Oh, you a fake Latino? You can't even speak Spanish."
Yeah.
But anyway, shout out to my Latino brothers and sisters, my Dominicans and Puerto Ricans back in New York. I miss y'all. What am I doing? Anyway, we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Thank you. Peace. You can now be a part of the C-Squared Crucial Conversation without even saying a word. Go to www.csquared.tv and purchase your own very C-Squared Tank t-shirt. Wear it loud, wear it proudly, and be a part of the Crucial Conversation. Stay tuned to C-Squared to learn much more. Welcome back to C-Squared. Thanks for staying tuned in. I'm your host, VaLentine, on a super casual day with my cut-up jeans and my sneakers and my C-Squared shirt on. At any rate, I'm still here with Nathan Ramos and also Allison De La Cruz of The Cross. Am I correct?
Yes, yes.
Allison is the director of the play that Nathan wrote called As We Babble On. I'm so excited and very honored to have both of them. Allison is now joining us here at this segment of the show.
Yay.
And I just want to say welcome to C-Squared.
Thank you, baby.
Thank you. I really appreciate you coming.
Thank you.
And why don't you give us a little bit of information on a little bit about you and how you got involved with the show, with the play.
Sure. I am born and raised in Los Angeles. I'm also a mixed race Filipino, different mix than Nathan, though we both have Filipino dads, which we bonded about. And I am the eldest of 3 kids. I'm in my 40s, so I am of an age.
What?
Yes, thank you.
You look good.
Thank you. And I always say that because I think being born of the time I was born, I graduated high school in 1992 while LA was in the riots and rebellion period.
Wow.
So it very much informs who I am, where my art comes from. In the part of LA that I'm from, the South Bay, Carson, there's a lot of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, so that always informed who I was. There was always a lot of other people of color, and so I grew up in a very diverse community, and it was always a challenge to be a mixed race person in those communities because at that time it was still not really talked about, not really known. And then adding into that my own kind of gender and sexuality lenses and experiences and selves. So I started writing poetry and eventually theater about growing up in that community and the way in which some of the Filipino women who were my friends and I loved also were super hardcore gender policers, or the ways in which people who were my friends in the marching band were also kind of bullying me because I was bigger bodied, or because I think even in that stage, very queer in my own way.
Okay, so to you people, you guys all out there watching, I'm like about 5'9", and you like 6'2".
Yeah, I'm
maybe?
like 6 feet. Yeah.
She's tall, so I can't really picture anybody bullying you.
Yeah. Well,
They must be really bold.
Yeah.
Because I get the vibe like if I say the wrong thing, she might just give me one look and like get it together.
Well, definitely who I am now. I think it's taken me. I have a joke with some of my friends. I worked in the Filipino community for a long time. I wanted to be accepted, and I know working in different communities, a lot of the elders are shorter than I am. So I'm really good at hiding my height. I'm really good. And I think part of the journey into self-love and really owning all of the unique things that make me me were really about taking up more space. And so I think what brought me to this play is I've been doing this work in LA for over 20 years. I've been facilitating, I've been creating my own art, I've been helping produce other people's art. I spent many years working with the Shakespeare Center of Los Angeles, looking at Shakespeare adaptations with youth of color in LA. And so I think coming into the process, having been a part of the East-West East West Players family for many years. That's who's producing our show. I realized, and we had this talk the other day of like, this was exactly the show I was waiting for, to be able to have my own directorial debut at East West Players on the main stage in their main stage season. We're the last show of their season. I also worked on another show that East West Players did this season in my other part of my life, and so for me, the reason I'm here, the reason I mean, when they offered me the show to direct, I said no 3 times, and they're like, read it. And I was like, ugh, because I just knew in my calendar like what was going to be happening at this time. I was like, it's too crazy. And I read it, and I will say like the first 20 minutes in, I was laughing, and I was like, oh, I have to direct this play, because in that stage of its development, as we've continued to watch the way Nathan has developed it as a playwright, it spoke to so much about what I am really trying to do in my life. I want to create a world where queer people of color are allowed to be vibrant and complex and diverse. I want to live in a world where we can have love about all the different ways that we love. And there's a really fun scene in the play that I call the trisexta scene. And part of what we've unpacked in rehearsal is like, what I love about this play is there's different ways to show how desire and what people desire is so different. And often I think our stories as LGBTQ people of color are reduced to sometimes these coming out moments only. Yeah. And like what I love is it's not a coming out play. It's a coming into yourself play, which is a different kind of story than coming out. I think coming out is an important journey, and we all, I mean, certainly when I was coming out at the time, it was a different time. It was, the late 90s. And I also know from the elders that raised me that in the 90s was a different kind of love and a different kind of openness than they had in the 80s or the 70s or the 60s. Right. So what I love about this play right now is and I said this the other day in another event where I was like, this is a lot. The set is a lot, the world is a lot, these characters are a lot. And as a person who is mixed and multi-gendered and multi-pronounced and multi-desirous, I'm a lot, and I'm tired of having lived a life where I've been told I'm only allowed to be in a box. Yeah. Where people want to, like, what are you? Like, I'm a lot of things. I don't know. What do you think I am? So what I love about this world is like, it is a play, at a certain level, it's a queer fairy tale about coming into yourself and not apologizing for being a lot.
I've been quiet and listening to you because a lot of what you're saying is really connecting and resonating with myself. A lot of what you said about why you got involved with the play and what you wanted to create through your work for the LGBT community is exactly mirrors why I created this show. I want a safe space. I want everybody to be able to come in a safe space and be respected and have fun and enjoy it and speak your truths. One of the things he mentioned in an earlier part of the show, in an earlier segment, was people ethnicities competing on who has it worse. And I feel that oftentimes, I mean, of course, I know my struggle, so I'm always talking about my struggle first, as a black man. And then majority, I have multicultural friends, but majority of the men I date are Asian. And so I get an opportunity to hear their side, and it's impact when I literally sit there, like, I don't, and I'm not one to have a loss for words. And I'm just like, in silence, listening to their story and the passion that they give it to me, that I'm like, oh my God, like, and I'm only talking about my injustice, listen to theirs, So I start to feel connected, in a lot of ways. And how can I put it, more enlightened in ways that I wasn't enlightened before, because I was only focused on my own experience, and it actually brought us, and it continues to bring me closer together with the Asian community and other communities that we share, and we understand where each other comes from. Also, before we go to break, the last thing you mentioned, too, to actually it's something I'm going through right now with being forced to be in a box. Okay, I can't believe I'm gonna say this on TV, but just as crucial as I like conversations, I'd like my guests to be, I'm just as transparent when something hits me. And I've always been gay, always. Always. Before I even knew what gay was, I knew I was not like everybody else. I have always also been a top. what would be considered a top. It comes quite natural for me. But within the last few years, I've been feeling the desire to be more submissive, you know? And it seems like people refuse to look at me anything other than stuff. I'm sorry. You muscular, you black, you got big dick. You know, like, no, you're a top, you're a top. Like, and it's like, I'm like, what? Like, I mean, not to say that I want to just, you know, be a hoe in that way. But my thing is, there's a certain role that comes with being a top oftentimes. And there's a certain role that comes with being submissive. And just like almost like a straight relationship is with a man and a woman, he's always making her feel protected and comfort. When they walk down, his arm is around her. She feels love and protected, you know. And I want to feel that. And I feel like I'm always giving it. I want it back, you know. I want to lay in your arms like a weak little baby and feel like you got me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to feel like I have to be strong all the time. I want to be weak, and I want to be vulnerable, and I want to receive love, you know, just as much as I give it. And I feel like that's my way. Like, I want to be more, but I'm forced by a lot of the people in LGBT community to be in this box, especially because I date mainly Asian men. It's like they only see me as the big black dingo fuck boy porn sort of thing, type of thing. And it bothers me sometimes because I'm just like, oh my God, like, dude, like, I don't look at you the way others say, because sometimes people say, I'm getting long-winded, oh my God, but let me wrap it up. But it's just the box thing. When you said that, that's literally what I'm going through right now. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine. I was telling him last night, he's Asian, he happens to be Asian. Like at 2 o'clock in the morning, we were talking about comic books, but we were also talking about the box thing too. And how I'm going through that right now. It's like, Jesus Christ, like, it's like now that I'm kind of, for once in my life, evolving, and I'm not feeling like I'm just this one thing. I want to be more. I can't. They forcing me to be, and I'm like, I have to be here. This is where you have to be. This is what you look like. This is what you are. That's it. You know. So anyway.
Can I just say really quick? What a beautiful idea to see you be held as a sub by a Asian man who doesn't look like a top. Like, that's the desire that I think is hot. Like, that's the thing we never see, right? And what is the cultural permission that you've ever been given to see yourself in that way, and to see that as part of the holistic part of who you are, and not some shameful thing that you have to keep fulfilling this role. And that to me is like, that's what is exciting to me in life right now, is like, and as somebody who is often a sub, who also now has come into my own like dominance, and it's hot. You know what I mean? So I hope you find the one, because it is goodness.
Me too.
It is goodness.
I'm trying to get there, girl. I'm right with you. All right, so let's go to a break, because the producers are screaming that I'm 4 minutes over. But I don't care. I love it when a crucial conversation comes together. And we're going to come back and talk more about the play As We Babble On, which comes out.
Yes, so As We Babble On, previews begin May 31st at eastwestplayers.org for more information. And we close June 24th, so you only have a month. You got to get there.
Yes. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Thanks. You can now be a part of the C.SQUARED Crucial Conversation without even saying a word. Go to www.csquared.tv and purchase your own very C.SQUARED Tank t-shirt. Wear it loud, wear it proudly, and be a part of the crucial conversation. Stay tuned to C.SQUARED to learn much more. Welcome back to C.SQUARED. Thanks for staying tuned in on our super casual special episode, which is all about the play coming out in a few weeks called As We Babble On. I am still here with the playwright Nathan Ramos, the director Allison De La Cruz, which is of the, oh my God, you told me, of the cross. And I'm also here now with one of the wonderful actresses from the play. Her name is Giovanni Lanaya. There it is. And the camera's still on me, but can we get a shot of her? Let us show these beautiful shoes you're wearing. Come on, yes. Let's do it. Oh, girl, no.
I know, right? I was like, it's together. Get it from the side.
I love it. This is awesome. This actually, today is my birthday, and I feel like I'm starting it off in a very wonderful way. I'm enjoying all three of you guys' personalities, the conversation, the things that you are not only coming to share, but you're invoking in me to share today. It's helping me to grow. So this show is not just for everybody else, it's therapy for me too. All right, so anyway, we're gonna get back into the play As We Babble On, and I'd love to know how did you find out about the play As We Babble On to even go on audition?
Yeah, Allison and Nathan had seen me in separate comedy shows and had reached out and asked me to come in, and I was like, a play? Like, that's so exciting! I do a lot of sketch and improv comedy, so it's different for me. It's so fun. So when I read even just the sides, and it was like, oh my gosh, like I get to be mixed, I get to be queer, like this is so exciting, and it was so close to me. So yeah, I was really, really excited to audition, and really, really excited when I got it.
Okay, so I know you said a couple of things that kind of tweaked my interest, which was that you were a comedian. And one of the things that I wanted to ask all of you guys, if we could possibly do, and come back and do another show where you could like do a segment of the play on camera.
We should talk
How
about
does
that.
I don't have any powers.
I thought about that last segment, but I said, I gotta put that in the background because the conversation right now is hot. But that was one of the things I was like, when we come back, I'm gonna definitely have to ask them, can we do like a segment of the play on the show? You know, it's where you guys can just act out like the play on the show. I think that would be awesome, and we could get to see Giovanni in action and some of her.
I'm amazing.
What is it called?
I'm amazing. Oh, I would be such a thing to behold. Everyone would love me so much. I would be such a treat. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, I'd even let you do some comedy. If you want, I'd love that, some comedy. But also, I just want to bring up you. I mean, you can share if you like, or if you don't have to. But earlier in the show, Nathan mentioned that when you audition, during the audition process, that you shared a personal story that really impacted him, and changed the course somewhat on how he wrote for the play, and actually, I guess, incorporated more, wrote the part more detailed for you. Is that correct? Or am I saying it correctly?
Yeah.
So I would love to know what you shared, if you feel like sharing that.
Yeah, at the audition, they asked me to tell a personal story, and I think that as a person who identifies as pansexual, like that's very new for a lot of people. And
Okay, can we stop real quick? Yeah. All right, so even for me, what's pansexual exactly?
It just means like I am not a discriminator of any gender or really anything. I love trans men, trans women, men, like non-binary. I love it all. And so it's like, we've been so lucky to have these like gay and lesbian stories in the media now. But people don't really know, like, what does it mean? Like, if you're bi, or if you're pansexual, or if you're something else and you're coming out to your family, what does that mean? And we're all going through different hardships in different ways. So I told a story about what was happening in my family, and how race comes into that, and I was very lucky that was, I was happy that resonated with other people.
He said, am I mistaken? Did you say you shed a tear, or you cried, or you was or you were just emotionally
because
moved by
I think
it?
what excites me about this play is that it lets a lot of us be three-dimensional in ways that we've not been three-dimensional, and I think that's kind of why I wrote it. And hearing another person connect with this struggle of seeing all sides of themselves in different moments and really connecting with that, and it just kind of gave me an opportunity as a writer to really kind of push myself in exploring that even further than I thought I had already explored it. And so it was kind of a really big gift when Giovanni came in and shared a really a good story for us. Yeah. It was good. It was good.
That means I'm a bigger part in the next play.
Yeah.
I had a couple of questions. First, before I even get into more questions, I really want to make sure that the viewers, you guys out there, really know when this play is coming out. So let's do that again.
Great.
We can't say it enough.
Yeah, As We Babble On premieres at East West Players in Little Tokyo, downtown Los Angeles, May 31st through June 24th, Thursdays through Sundays. Lots of opportunities to see it. And I know sometimes in the different lives that we live in LA, if money is tight and you need an affordable plan, Thursday night, June 7th, you can come see it, pay what you can. So if $1 is what you got and you want to be inspired and laugh and sing with us, even though we don't, well, we kind of sing. June 7th is pay what you can night. There's also rush tickets, as well as opening night tickets for folks who want to come and luxuriate with us on opening night. But
I'll be there.
Yes.
eastwestplayers.org for more info. All the performance dates and other info about Giovanni and the rest of our cast and Nathan and this play. We'd love you to join us.
Okay. Giovanni, do you have a favorite scene from the play?
Oh,
Or a favorite, or a favorite line? Ooh, let's get it.
there's
Come on,
my character is a food vlogger / like kind of webcam girl. So there's a scene where I very sexily bake bread and dance. So I'm just like on a table kneading dough, real nasty. And I was like, oh, my favorite thing is like sex and food. Oh, who wrote this?
This nasty.
Oh my goodness. I love it. Oh my
I
God.
was like, get out of my diary.
Hey, I think at least I'm now prepared. I'll be prepared.
You're
when I
still
get
not
there.
ready.
I love it. Hey, listen, we gotta take a break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. You can now be a part of the C-SQUARED Crucial Conversation without even saying a word. Go to www.csquared.tv and purchase your own very C-SQUARED Tank t-shirt. Wear it loud, wear it proudly, and be a part of the Crucial Conversation. Stay tuned to C-SQUARED to learn much more. Welcome back to C-SQUARED. Thank you for staying tuned as I babble on. Literally. Everybody need to go see this play. Laugh with me. I'm probably one of the loudest people in there. I do not control myself. I'll be like, oh my God, Yeah, that's awesome. Any other things about the play that really impacted you or made you, I don't know, did you feel changed in any way with this role? Did you feel like you grew or as a person, or like what is the word I'm looking for? I'm looking for inspired.
Yeah, I mean, I felt so moved at so many times within this play, which, I knew it was going to be important, but like throughout this process, like just being able to portray a character that's so much like myself, being mixed and like bringing my Black side into a play about being Asian, and being mixed has been so important to me. And then throughout the process, when Allison is looking at all of the fine details about like, we need to make sure that we're making space for Black people. I want to make sure. Okay, let's not have Giovanni pick that up. And I'm like, thank you, because I feel like I'm so often the person being like, no, it doesn't look right if I'm the one doing that, or like like, can I have more power in this scene? Like, can I?
Right.
And like, so to have Allison as the director really advocating for that, and it's already like built into the writing to have space for me and to give me so much just like fierceness and it feels so good to me, and it feels so freeing, and I feel like I can relax in a way that I can't always in every project, where I'm always having to like watch for everything and make sure that I'm representing women well, queer people well, black women, Asian women, like mixed people. Like there's so many layers that I carry, and I feel like I need to represent. And so to have like people on my side in that has just been like,
oh, that's awesome. That requires a heightened a heightened level of sensitivity and sensibility, you know, for you to even consider those things as you're directing, you know. Just when she made that comment, I was like, oh, that's interesting. You know, that it makes you feel not just supported, but this is a heightened sense of comfortability that you have, you know, that's like, oh, this person is not even of my color or race, but they don't just understand, they get it, you know, and they don't just get it, they're doing something about it. They're not just saying, oh, that's not right. Everybody, oh, they love to kill me. When before I get on a rant, oftentimes I personally get upset when I see other people seem so quite content on their daily on their daily grind that are not African American, and that's not right. What's going on? That yesterday another black man just got killed, pulled over and just killed randomly, and then, it's not right. It's not right. But they're not doing anything. They're not outraged. They just fine. But me, if I get you need to calm down. Oh God, it's extra. I'm a black man. If I leave, my reality right now is after this show is over, I could not make it home. If the police pull me over, I'll be dead. You know what I'm saying? And you're now outraged until something happens to you and yours. Then it's, oh my God, stop the presses. But while it's just happening to me, it's like, oh, can you calm down? It's really not, all right, it's really a bad thing, but could you calm down? Now, that's where I get irritated. So just to feel support from others that are not like yourself, that you understand, makes a big difference. It actually is the thing that calms me down. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It's not you telling me to calm me down. Yeah. It's you showing as much disdain and uncomfortability with the situation as I am, that makes me feel like, okay, I could calm down. People are hearing me, to understand it, and they're going to do something about it too. It's not just me, you know?
And I will say that I think and we've started to talk about this, and Nathan and I talked about this in the writing process he's been in the last several months, is like, there is a lot of anti-blackness in Asian American communities, and and not just American society in general, but what is our power right now? What is our opportunity right now to not just honor black people who are not part of our community, but yeah, Giovanni, you were part of our community. There are people in my family. Like, the person I love is a mixed race, black, Asian, PI person. You know what I mean? So it's like, how do we really stand? If this is the one shot I get to tell a story, and this is the power I have, is to frame the way that Nathan has written this play, then I'm going to show a play that is about looking at different body sizes and types and styles of Asian people, but also acknowledging within our Asian families there are black people in our families. And so whether they're our found family, our born family, or our made family, right now, I feel like the other conversation we're having in this play is like, how do we make a better world? And what became really clear to me the other day in rehearsal is like, we can't fix all the isms if we don't address one of America's major issues, which is we gotta love on black people. And so, and I don't even think I've told you this, but I've been writing this poem to like black America of like, I'm so grateful. Growing up where I grew up, it was either choose white people or choose black people. Who are you gonna be like? I'm gonna be like black people. I'm gonna love on black people because black people have shown me how to love, how to survive, how to grow. And it's super easy in American culture to just subsume that and make that ours. And so I feel like as much as this play is a lot, our lives are a lot. And in the a lot right now, what we have to really deal with, like the fact that people are now having stories where it's like you're getting called because you're walking your kid in the park or you're going to a Starbucks. Like, I'm just not, personally, I'm just not okay with the level of comfort other people, America seems to have with the continued experiences of black communities. And not just black communities, but other communities. But for me, yeah. So I could go off on it, but for this play is also a love letter to mixed people, to mixed black people, because in the API community, mixed black people, mixed brown people don't get as much love as mixed white people. And I know that because I'm a mixed white person. So if part of my love, if part of my allyship is like, yeah, this is a place where we can do work. I can show the work. I can frame this story in a way that Nathan is giving us, continues to give us. It's like, that's why I want to do this work, because if you're going to spend the money to come see the play, I want you to think about stuff. I want you to laugh. I want you to be turned on. I want you to be disgusted. I want you to feel all these things all at the same time.
Oh, I can't wait. That's right, we're going to come see the play. Causing the segments to go on and on. But I don't care. It's my birthday. I could do what I want to. I want to say thank you to the playwright, the director, and one of the beautiful actresses from the play of As We Babble On. I'm going to let them take it from here. Tell us one more time where we can go to see the play, find out more about it, and why we all should go see it. I'll be there. I think you should be there too.
Yes, As We Babble On previews start May 31st, and opening night is June 6th, and the play runs till June 24th, and you can get tickets at eastwestplayers.org. I think just to kind of sum everything up, I think that for me as a writer and as a person who watches a lot of things, I think it's really exciting for me to see excellence getting reflected on stage. Because I think that we see suffering so much getting reflected on stage, but to see just excellence and joy reflected on stage has been such a privilege and an honor, seeing just powerful people bring it to life. And that's what I love about this show.
I think there are a lot of reasons why the play is important, and that's why you should come see it. But really, come because it's funny and it's fun and it's good, and you'll have a good time. I hope to see everybody there.
Yes.
And I would just say eastwestplayers.org for all the info, what they all said and what we said today. Thank you so much, and happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Listen, I want to say thank you for being here. And if this play is any reflection of you guys and the heart and the things that you've even evoked and emotionally evoked in me on this day that I didn't even expect, then I think everybody should be there. I might go to a premiere night, the next night. I might go a couple of times and bring a couple friends. And trust me, when I like something, I got a big mouth. You know, just like if I don't like something, I got a big mouth. But when I like something, my mouth is just as big. I'm like, oh my God, did you see? You need to go see. Here's the number. You need to So definitely, I want to say thank you so much for coming. And C.SQUARED family is very lucky to have had you today on May 20th, my birthday. All right, thank you so much, and I will see you guys on the next episode of C.SQUARED. Thanks. Peace.
Whoever could we be? I can never be nothing but authentically me. If you're looking for a place to have crucial conversation, no longer have to fear, cause you can have them here. C.SQUARED.